Hi, I'm Kristen Girard from Radiance and Grit. I'm the Luminary artist, which means that with my art, I bring light into the world. And a part of that is talking about things in our world that are not being given a voice enough. So this is part of a series called Kristen Gets Fierce. And it has to do with a lot of the energy behind the artwork. So if you're enjoying this, please like, subscribe, comment, share. That's amazing. And go over to my website, radianceandgrit.com, and sign up for my art and soul letters. All right, so let's get into the middle of Kristen Gets Fierce, or in other words, you might call it a bit of a rant. So one of the big things that comes up of being a fully embodied human and living your truth, whatever that is for you. For me, it is being an artist, all caps, because that is where I feel most at home, most joyful, most me. It's when I am being an artist fully embodied, that's when my health improves dramatically. When I deny who I am, that's when my health really takes a severe downturn. Physically, mentally, all of the ways that things can go downward. And what that has brought me to realize is that when I allow outside influences to determine my destiny, if you will, my health collapses severely, which I'm beginning to take as a kick in the butt from the universe that says, go to your easel and paint, and then talk about it. And in this case, have a really fierce discussion about what it means when people tell you that it is not okay for you to be you, and that it is not okay for you to have whatever is going on in your life going on. Prime example, I live with type 1 diabetes. It's awful. It's one of those things that if you want to have a really effective curse on someone, wish them type 1 diabetes. Now, I'm not really into cursing anyone, usually. There are some rare instances, but I always make sure people have a way out when they have, shall we say, reformed their ways. But type 1 diabetes, living with it, is that bad. And it's invisible. And in the course of my life journey has contributed significantly to me denying my truth, my true self as an artist. It has made me minimize what art means for me. It has made me minimize the joy of what art is. It has caused so much conflict and pain in my life. And the interesting part about why I'm on here today, letting some of my fierceness show, is because a lot of that pain and conflict didn't originate from me. It is stuff that I have taken on from the people around me and their expressed, shall we say, sentiments. One of my favorites, actually it's a misnomer, I really shouldn't call them favorites because it's not, but one of the common ones is, why don't you get a straw and just suck it up and get a job? A real job. I have heard that over and over and over again so much. It's like it doesn't matter how well I am doing as an artist. There is always someone in my life who is telling me that it is not okay for me to be me and do my art. And it has been one of those things that really stopped me very effectively from being an artist for a long, long time, decades. Even the people who helped me go to art school would tell me that specific phrase so often with the same exact wording. It's like they were reading from the same playbook. And it would flabbergast me. Especially when, I've just had a great day painting. I've just sold another painting. My prints are selling great. And they're coming at me with this thing because my life looks very different. And usually it is catalyzed because I'm having a bad health day. Because it's a day where I haven't been able to do my art. Some days I'm too ill to even put a post on social media. And it's not just type 1 diabetes doing it, though type 1 diabetes is the biggest contributing factor. I have some days where my blood sugar is just low upon low upon low upon low, and I can't get it up, no matter how much I eat. And it's one of those things my doctors haven't been able to help me figure out. And then eventually it'll switch and I'll have the reverse, where I'll have days where it doesn't matter how much insulin I do. I can't get my blood sugar out of the high 300s. Changing insulin site, trying to do shots instead of using my insulin pump. Like, I go through everything to try to get my blood sugar back in the range it's supposed to be. And I just can't. And it is wearing, absolutely wearing. And not everyone with type 1 diabetes experiences this. Type 1 diabetes, it's actually not really well known, is actually quite varied in the way it presents. In a textbook, it all reads the same thing. Pancreas is no longer functioning because the body has killed off all of the cells that produce insulin. And, it's just this little thing. What's not actually saying is all the different reasons. Type 1 diabetes is most often an autoimmune disorder, which means that your own body is attacking itself. But that happens for a lot of different reasons, which means that type 1 diabetes, because of the different reasons that contribute to why your body went on a campaign against itself, means that it presents differently. And one day is never the same. It really isn't. Everything affects your blood sugar, from your emotions to your stress level to what you ate 2 days ago, because of the way your digestive system can work. So to bring it back in, when I'm having a bad health day and I am pale as a ghost, and to give you an idea about how bad it can be sometimes, I don't feel very attached to my body because I have so little life force left. I've used it all trying to stay in the first place. And it takes effort to connect to source when you are that drained physically. So what'll happen is someone will see me in a state like that. And maybe I've had a couple of days or a week where things have just been really bad health-wise. And outside forces will assume that I'm not getting out of the house enough, or it is my fault for not having a regular job, instead of doing my art, which to me, my art is my regular job. I show up for it. Even if I'm too sick to actually paint or post, you can be guaranteed I've come in my studio and I've sat with my paintings and I've done healing work and I've looked at the paintings, and I do a lot of channeled artwork, and we've connected and the energy is still flowing into the paintings, regardless of whether I'm physical well enough to paint or not. That process is ongoing. And I'll come in my studio and ask, what do I feel up to? And sometimes it might just, I literally might be only able to type a paragraph, and then I get exhausted again and I have to take care of myself. But you can be guaranteed I am in my studio doing my art as much as possible, because I know that I feel best when I am painting. I know that I feel best when I am working on a video like this, or I'm writing a blog post, or I'm writing my list, and I'm in the act of creation and helping and serving for the highest good of all. And yet, because that doesn't look like sitting at a desk in an office with someone else paying me, I've often been told that I'm not actually working. And artists get that a lot because they enjoy what they do, which I find interesting and makes me get particularly fierce, because people who work on golf courses and love golf courses, they love what they're doing. It's fun. They're not being accused of not working. A lawyer who loves every single second and everything about being in front of a courtroom loves it. It's fun. They're not told they're not working, that it's not okay to not be a lawyer, that it's not okay to not be a groundskeeper. Teachers who are teaching kindergarten and love it. They just feel, they love the energy of the kids. It's a good time. Sure, they're tired at the end of the day, but they're still truly enjoying what they do. Those teachers aren't told they're not working. So on behalf of every single artist in the world, whether they're creating visual artworks or writing books or performing music or actors in a TV show that you love to watch, they're working. We're working for the highest good of all. We need creation energy on this planet. We need creation energy in this world, so much so. If anything, we need 10 times the creators, active, creating, doing what they do best in the world. Our world would be so much better if we allowed creation energy to flow in, instead of telling the artisans in our lives they need to suck it up and get a real job. That's stupid patriarchy talking. Seriously. I don't call a lot of things stupid, except perhaps in these Kristen Gets Fierce rants. I have a feeling that might be a word that comes up more than I actually use it in my general life. But I'm angry at every single person who has ever told an artist that they're not working and need to go get a job and suck it up. And usually the jobs that are being referred to are minimum wage jobs. And while there's nothing wrong at all with the work that is minimum wage jobs, whether a gas station attendant or a bank teller or a receptionist in an office, there is nothing wrong with that work except the pay level. Because in our society, money means respect. And if you don't have a job that inherently gives you respect, like a lawyer, you don't deserve to be paid well enough to be able to pay your bills and not have to get into debt when you get sick. Or God forbid, you're working in a minimum wage job and you get a chronic illness. Our society does not care for people. I have a lot to say about that. I'm sure I'm going to have many, many Kristen rants about how our society cares for people who are ill. Because the truth is, it doesn't. Our society punishes people who are ill. And it is horrible. It is horrifying. Especially when your chronic illness is used as a weapon against you for why you should not be allowed by the powers that be, those outside forces in your life that are not you, why they should get to determine what you do because you're having a bad energy day. You're too tired and worn out to work. And the truth is that most of the time, when those low energy, bad health days are coming in, at least in my case, after lots of reflection and looking at patterns and lots of counseling and self-work and so much shadow work, so much healing, I have come to realize that those bad health episodes often are not because of any doubts or fears that I have that are coming from within me, because I know what I'm supposed to be doing. That is one of the gifts of doing the art I create. I know that I am here to bring light into the world. And part of my job is to show you who you truly are so that you can too. Whether that is a painting of the stars or painting an aspect of your higher self. That is what I am here to do. To cut away the chafe and the shadows and all of the ick that other people put on us so that you can do what you were here to do. Because I've been there. And it's something I constantly have to work at. And I know how difficult it is, which is part of why I'm so determined to help people and decided to start doing things like Kristen Gets Fierce. Because most of the time, when our health really starts deteriorating, it's because we start to believe those outside forces, that perhaps they are right. And maybe because we're having a really bad health day, or week, or year, or decade. If you have a chronic illness, you know what I'm talking about, the bad decades. That stuff doesn't help anyone. That being told to get a job and suck it up and just go be miserable, that does not help anyone. If anything, it contributes to the destructive energy drain that has become so rampant across our world to the point where we don't even realize what being human is anymore, because we're literally training ourselves out of being human. We're training ourselves to be automatic machines that get up, go to work, allow all of your life energy to be siphoned out into the entity that is your job and the pockets of people who just have to have one more yacht to buy. And then you go home and feel very hollow and don't know why. And then you go to sleep, and maybe for a fleeting second you have a dream of what life could be like. And that's we are here for more than that. Every single human and every single animal, every single plant, we are here to do what we do best. Whether that is creating art for your cat, purring and shedding, that can be a life calling. It's not suffering. It's not denying who we are. That's not why we're here. It's not to be miserable. We are here to embody joy. And perhaps that's why we encounter so many obstacles to joy. Perhaps that's why, like me, you may have people in your life telling you to just get a straw and suck it up and go get a regular job because it makes them more comfortable to know that you are being responsible in their eyes. And that kind of stuff, it has destroyed the lives of many, many creators. But you and I and everyone else with a dream in their eyes that is just waiting to come into the world, that is hoping that you have enough good health days to string that dream together. I can tell you this with absolute surety. You will have more good health days the more you step into your dreams. Perhaps not at first, because sometimes we are asked, how much do you want this? And we have to keep answering, I value myself. I love myself. I am a creator. I am an artist. I am the embodiment of divine love. And I am here to help others do the same. And that creation energy, it can totally be teaching kindergartners. It can be being a phenomenal house cleaner. I'd like giant hugs to every single phenomenal house cleaner out there. Seriously, you guys are angels. It can be being a lawyer and defending people who really need your help. Creation energy comes in all kinds of ways. So in closing, I ask you to be fierce, to not allow the judgment of others to get between you and what you are here to do. So let's take a minute to give ourselves a giant hug. I know this seems silly at first, but give yourself a hug. Your body needs it. Your heart needs it. Your soul needs it. Even your higher self needs it. So hug yourself. And then I heard this wonderful switch up. Hug yourself the comfortable way, and then switch it up and hug yourself the other way, which I think I just did. Oh my goodness, I've been doing this so often I can't quite tell. But anyways, you're hugging all sides of yourself. So, thank you for watching. If this is helpful to you, please like, please share. If you would like to know more, head over to my website, Radiance and Grit. Sign up for my Art and Soul letters. You'll receive updates like new videos like this sent straight to your inbox. And be kind and gentle to yourself. Love yourself. Do something today that helps you get closer to your dreams. And that might look like a nap or reading a book, and that's okay. All right. Bye.